welcome to another episode of The Drummer's Guide 2. So today I want to talk about shiny object syndrome. It is such a huge problem for all of us! So this is relating to both in the studio and live. Obviously, as you can appreciate, anyone that's ever worked with anyone that has anything to do with anything in the studio, you'll appreciate that we're the worst. Shiny objects are the worst when it comes to microphones and preamps, and you see all these other people with their amazing stuff. But these are the three ways that I basically try and overcome it. I'm not saying that it works 100% of the time. Sometimes the feeling is just too great, and sometimes it really pays off, and other times it's like, meh, it's not that much of a difference. So these are the three questions that I ask myself, I guess, to see if it's really worth it. So I might sort of like be chatting to someone about microphones and they're like, well, you should get one of these. Or it might be a live situation and someone might be talking about, I don't know, electronics. Oh, you should get one of these and really sell it. And I'll be like, wow, yeah, no, that sounds really great. But I always come back to these questions before I can spend any money, basically. Or I try to, at least. The first and the most important question that I ask myself is, are my clients or are the artists that I'm working with happy with what I'm doing and the equipment that I have and the results that they get? I think that's the most important word, actually, results. Because you can have the best equipment in the world, but if you don't have the skills to use it to the best of its ability, it's completely pointless. And if you're using stuff that is maybe below par, but you're making it sound like it's better than it is, equally, why would you bother spending more money when everybody's happy? So I think that's one of the best questions you can ask yourself is like, okay, are the people that this equipment is being used for, are their results, are they happy with that? And for me, as far as I know, until I'm told different, the answer is yes, they are happy. So therefore, stop spending money, Emily, stop it. So that's the first question that I have to ask myself. The second one that I have to ask myself is, am I happy? Am I happy with the sound of the kick drum, for instance, in my studio? Am I happy with the sound of that snare drum live? Am I happy with the way that I work with my electronics? This can be sort of like tackled in two ways. It can either be, no, I'm not, therefore I should buy something new, which sometimes can be the right answer. However, I find the majority of the time the answer would be, no, I'm not happy, I should up my skill set. And that's actually, I feel like buying more stuff, I've caught myself, and I used to do this in the past a lot, I thought that it was some shortcut to just not having to learn new skills. And that is the most backwards thing ever, because you can buy something, it can break and you lose it. If you learn to do something that you can use in many different situations, you'll never lose that. Well, unless you lose your mind, which is quite possible for me, but it's fine. I think that it should be more about, before you start buying physical shiny objects, it should be, right, could I learn a skill that would be able to do this anyway? Okay, that snare drum doesn't sound very good live. Well, maybe I should learn to tune it better. Maybe that would be a better thing. Okay, the electronics that I'm using live don't really work for my workflow. Okay, well, can I learn a new workflow, or do I need to buy a new unit? It might be a physical thing of, this unit has only 2 outputs, I need 6. That's something that you can't help, and it's just like, okay, unless you start, but then even then you could still use it in a different way. You could use it as a MIDI trigger and then have an interface that does have 6 outputs. Again, you would have to have the interface already, or you would still have to spend money. So there are different situations. Same with microphones. It's like, you might have this amazing microphone. If you don't know how to make it sound good, what in the world is the point? And I've been guilty of that, absolutely. And then I've had to up my skill set to kind of like, in fact, I'm still doing that. I will always be doing that, trying to make myself as good as the equipment that I have, and then making myself better than the equipment that I have. The third sort of question that I always ask myself when looking at these lovely shiny objects is, okay, look at all the stuff that I have, which is probably too much, like most people. All of that stuff has gotten me to this point. Surely there's got to be something in that. I am a professional musician. I clearly must have professional enough gear to do what I need to do. At some point it probably starts becoming a little more egotistical, a little more about status rather than practicality. I know that all the stuff that I have right now does a great job of doing what I need to do. Some of those things I still need I need to work on my skill sets. Some of the things sound good because my skill sets are like at a good standard. They can always be better. Let me just say that. Don't think that I think that I'm some amazing person at, well, pretty much anything. I'm always trying to get better, as it's the joy of music. You know, you've got to always try and get better. But anyway, those are the three questions that I ask myself. Are my clients or artists happy? Am I happy? And just look at what physically I have that's got me to this point. So I probably don't need another microphone. Stop buying microphones. That's kind of what this video is about. I'm just having a word with myself, so don't mind me. I hope this has helped. I hope that this sort of makes you question when you're buying those shiny objects, because I've done it so much. You buy something and then it never gets used. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I end up always giving them away to people that I feel like they really, you know, when you see someone that has that passion, it makes me want to embrace that, support it. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you a really quick story. It's basically because somebody did it to me when I was about 13. As I've said many times before, I used to go to blues jams as a kid. And there was this one particular blues jam. It was at a pub called The Fountain in Tottenham. There was a house drummer called Brian. I'm getting a bit emotional talking about it. And it was his kit that we all used to play on. And one week we went to go play. And after I got up and played, he basically had this 12-inch Zildjian K Splash. And I hadn't, like, no cymbals, no drum kit, no nothing. And he came and he gave it to me. And he just said, here, I want you to have this. And that sign of recognition, like, oh my gosh, he sees me like I can actually play, I can do this, it's stuck with me forever. So if I can do that for someone else, then that's awesome. Shout out to Brian, who I never knew your surname. I just called you Irish Brian, we all did. And I think your wife was called Caroline, I think. She used to work for the council. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you before I get too much more nostalgic and emotional. But I hope you're having a good day. And try to avoid those shiny things. I know it's hard, but skills are a much better thing to get than things. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. I hope you're having a good week, and I'll be back next week with another episode, another subject. If you have any suggestions, please put them in the comments, and please put any comments in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've bought anything nice recently that you have enjoyed, or things that you have bought that you have realised that you didn't need. But yeah, hope you're having a good week, and I'll speak to you soon. Alright, lots of love. Bye.
It's